Okay, just wanted to make a quick video to elaborate on how I lost this last 6 kilos over the last so many months. And I did it simply by changing the set of rules that I follow regarding eating. And I believe everyone is pretty much like this, that your body, you personally, we're all different, but each of us will settle down to a steady state weight that's a function of the rules you make up for yourself regarding eating and exercise and whatever you want. All these rules add up to a steady state weight. So like I said, my rule set previously was fairly loose, but never changed, very consistent with how I was eating, and my weight was stable over the last 4 years, and it was at 81 kilos. And so I adopted a new set of rules. They're pretty simple. Actually, it's probably only 2 rules that I changed, and it brought me down to 75 kilos, and I feel great. I love it. And now I'm contemplating making some rule changes that might refine my rules that might get me down even further. So anyway, I might have talked about this previously, but my 2 rules that I changed were, 1, I would insert 12 hours between between dinner and breakfast. So you call that 12-12 intermittent fasting. And that's my 1 rule. That was one of my primary rules. And my 2nd rule was only eat when you're hungry. Okay, and possibly 2A or something was, yeah, I did start to favor protein. Okay, so those rules, which is a refinement to my previous rules, brought me down 6 kilos. So I want to make the statement. I think it's true. I think you might find this applicable to you, and I think you should try it. I think you should think about it in your head, and it'll make sense to you, and hopefully you believe it. Hopefully it'll be obvious. Hopefully that's nothing you're really gonna argue about. But my statement is, if you make a set of rules for yourself, rules that you will adhere to, right? They don't have to be difficult, right? For example, if you have no rule set, no changes, you'll adhere to it, you'll stay at your current weight, right? Right, okay. Now I'm saying if you add some rules, above what you're doing now, you will see a benefit from it. And it could be significant. And I think it's a nice way to think about, diet, food environment, how we are. Okay, so let me run through, in general, 4 types of rules that you can add. These are also things that I believe in. So I believe rule number 1 should be an environment rule, a rule on your food environment, right? So, you can't change the outside world, but you could change what you have in your home. And I think that's really important, because generally if it's not in your home, you're not really going to go out and get it. I mean, if you are, you might need some help. But so the only 1 rule that I have, my number 1 rule for my food environment is I don't keep any ready-to-eat foods in the home. Everything is ingredient only. So if I want something, I have to cook it. Okay, so that's my number 1 rule which is what I call a food environment rule. Okay, so then my 2nd rule is my exercise. Okay, let's just say rule number 2 is your exercise rule. My exercise rule is pretty simple. I work out, I get on the bike probably 3 or 4 times a week, and I go pretty hard. So I would say I exercise pretty hard 7 hours a week, okay? But of course that means for 3 or 4 days, I do absolutely nothing. I sit around and lay about. So 3 or 4 days, I work out hard on the bike, which I enjoy. I love it. It's not like I have to force myself to do it. I don't go to the gym. I don't do anything else. I just get on the bike. Okay, that's my rule number 2. And it's really consistent. I just love doing it. Okay, rule number 3 are my food rules. And so I lost all the weight following, a whole foods, plant-based diet. I'm not advocating that now because I've changed that, right? I eat a mixed diet. I eat a traditional diet. So my food rules again, which kind of overlap with one, is I make everything. I mean, I will eat something outside, but what I consider food is stuff that I make. So I really learned how to cook. And yeah, so my food rules, it prioritizes a little bit protein, because I actually do believe that protein leverage hypothesis, which you could look it up, but basically it says your body's going to seek about a certain amount of protein every day, which probably is about, I believe it's going to be at least 15% of your total calories should be protein. You can go higher, and you can get that any way you want. Okay, I've been using ground beef lately because I like it. You could get there through beans, but whatever. I eat ground beef, and so I prioritize proteins. After that, I probably prioritize starch with fiber, things like potatoes. I guess I would tend towards whole grains, but I don't necessarily do that. But so it'll be beef or protein on top of starch is what I eat. And then some other things. I definitely eat a lot of vegetables. I like to put them all in I like to put a lot of greens and either salads or cruciferous vegetables or herbs. I put that in. So, okay. And then, there's a bunch of other sub rules, but that's basically 3. I think rule 4, or the fourth class of rule, might be when you eat. So people are really into this time restricted feeding or intermittent fasting or whatever. I just follow a simple rule. I'm either going to eat, so I basically eat 12-12, right? 12 hours between my last meal and breakfast. So between dinner and breakfast, 12 hours. Anything else, I eat. So, and again, I only eat when I'm hungry. So anyway, those rules, pretty simple. And they've enabled me to get down. I adhere to them. They're really easy to adhere to. I don't make up any rule I can't adhere to. So that kind of defines to me what food is. So if you're out and about and you actually need to, if you have to go to fast food, it's okay. Just buy what you consider food, like one small hamburger, right? Just eat it. If you're hungry, you can get another hamburger later. But it's certainly my attitude about food is that I'm very thankful for what we have, and it is amazing what we can get. Our food system is amazing. You don't want to obviously abuse all the candies and sugars and treats. Treats are wonderful, but I have them. If I have a treat, it's a small amount. I thoroughly enjoy it. I go slow. It's part of the daily calories, and so just respect for food. Anyway, so if you want to do something, I really suggest you make a set of rules. Make a set of rules for yourself. Again, there's I have 4 categories of rules, which is what environment, exercise, what you eat and when you eat it. Make a set of small rules, things that you'll adhere to, and you'll find if you follow them, you'll get immediate results. Get on scale. Men, it's really easy. You get on scale, you get consistent measurements of time. You will see your weight move. You'll see it move down. If you adopt a set of healthy rules that you could follow 100%, don't do something you can kill yourself on, but just make a set of rules is going to be better than your current set of rules. You will see your weight go down, and it'll keep going down until it reaches an equilibrium point, which is the result of those rules with your body yields this number. And at that point, you're going to really enjoy it, and you're going to be amazed, and you're going to go, okay, all right, I'm not hungry, I'm not depriving myself. I can refine the rules a little bit more if you want to move down more. And anyway, you'll find that I think if you set up a set of rules that you will follow, and you will see results, and you will see you'll find a better weight for yourself. And it's pretty simple. All right, that's all I got to say.